In the heart of southern Africa, nestled upon a vast plateau between the Zambezi and Limpopo rivers, lie the monumental stone ruins of an ancient city. This is Great Zimbabwe, the powerful capital of a once thriving and sophisticated Shona kingdom. Its name, derived from the Shona phrase Zimbabwe, poetically translates to great houses of stone. The civilization flourished from the 11th to the 15th centuries, leaving behind a legacy etched in granite. Long before European explorers arrived, this empire was a nexus of culture, industry, and long-distance trade. The story of Great Zimbabwe begins with the settlement of Bantu-speaking peoples in the region. These early communities were pastoralists and farmers, skilled in ironworking and pottery. Around the 11th century, a significant societal shift began to take place on the Zimbabwe plateau. A new political authority emerged, centralizing power and organizing the construction of monumental architecture. The city is divided into three main architectural groups: the Hill Complex, the Valley Complex, and the Great Enclosure. The oldest of these is the Hill Complex, perched atop a steep-sided granite dome. This site is believed to have been the spiritual and political center of the city, the residence of the king. Strategic high ground offered defensive advantages and a commanding view of the surrounding territory. Within the Hill Complex, a sacred enclosure is thought to have housed important ritualistic activities. Here, rulers would have communicated with ancestral spirits, a core part of Shona beliefs. The most famous structure, the Great Enclosure, was built later in the valley below. It is the largest single ancient structure in sub-Saharan Africa. Its outer wall is over 250 meters in circumference and reaches a height of 11 meters. The walls were constructed from granite blocks, expertly cut and laid without the use of mortar. This technique, known as dry stone walling, required immense skill and organization. The sheer volume of stone moved and placed is a testament to the kingdom's power. Inside the great enclosure stands the enigmatic conical tower. This solid stone tower is 10 meters high and 5.5 meters in diameter at its base. Its exact purpose, whether symbolic, ceremonial, or astronomical, remains a subject of debate among historians. Some scholars suggest it represents a royal grain bin, a symbol of the king's control over food and wealth. The valley complex consists of a series of smaller stone-walled enclosures and numerous daga hut remains. This was the residential area for the majority of the city's inhabitants. The wealth of Great Zimbabwe was built on a foundation of cattle and, most importantly, gold. The kingdom controlled the gold mines of the Zimbabwean plateau. This gave them a hugely valuable commodity for international trade. A sophisticated trade network connected Great Zimbabwe to the Swahili coast. In coastal cities like Kilwa and Sofala, goods were shipped across the Indian Ocean. Archaeological finds at Great Zimbabwe include Chinese porcelain and celadon. Persian faience and Near Eastern glass have also been unearthed. In return for these luxury items, the kingdom exported gold, ivory, and copper. This trade brought immense wealth and prestige to the rulers of Great Zimbabwe. The social structure was highly stratified, with a clear ruling class. The king was a divine figure, holding both political and religious authority. This elite lived within the stone enclosures, separated from the general populace. The commoners lived in the valley in well-constructed huts made of daga, a mixture of clay and gravel. The famous soapstone birds of Zimbabwe were found in the ruins. 8 of these birds were discovered, each uniquely carved. They are thought to represent the link between the earthly and spiritual realms. Each bird stood on a monolith, likely within the Sacred Hill complex. Today, the Zimbabwe bird is the national emblem of the modern nation of Zimbabwe. By the mid-15th century, the great city began its decline. The reasons for its abandonment are complex and still debated. One theory points to the exhaustion of local resources, particularly the gold mines. Shifting trade routes may have also bypassed the kingdom, strangling its economy. Climate change, leading to drought and famine, is another strong possibility. The immense population may have become too large for the environment to sustain. Political instability and the rise of rival states also played a crucial role. The center of power shifted north to the Mutapa state and west to the Butua kingdom. By 1450, Great Zimbabwe was largely abandoned, its stone houses falling silent. The population dispersed, carrying their culture and skills to new areas. For centuries, the city remained known to local peoples, but hidden from the outside world. Portuguese traders in the 16th century heard tales of the stone city, but never reached it. The ruins were brought to the attention of the European world in the late 19th century. Early colonial interpretations were clouded by prejudice and a refusal to credit indigenous Africans. Theories were invented that attributed the city to ancient Phoenicians, Egyptians, or even the Queen of Sheba. These racist theories were designed to deny the achievements of the African civilization. However, pioneering archaeologist Gertrude Caton Thompson conducted rigorous research in 1929. Her findings conclusively proved that the city was of indigenous Bantu origin. Despite this, the colonial government of Rhodesia continued to suppress this history. The truth of Great Zimbabwe's African origin became a powerful symbol for the independence movement. Upon independence in 1980, the new nation proudly took the name Zimbabwe. The ruins were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986. Today, Great Zimbabwe stands as a source of immense pride and a symbol of a great African past. It is a powerful refutation of the colonial narrative that Africa had no history. The architecture reveals a deep understanding of engineering and acoustics. The chevron and herringbone patterns on the walls are not merely decorative. They are symbols of royal power and prestige, a visual language for all to see. The society was supported by a robust agricultural system. Cattle were a primary measure of wealth and were used for trade and social transactions. The city's layout suggests a sophisticated understanding of urban planning. Pathways and public spaces were deliberately created to manage the flow of people. Water management was likely a critical concern for the city's inhabitants. The decline was not a sudden collapse, but a gradual process of decentralization. Power flowed away from the center towards new, emerging regional leaders. Legacy of Great Zimbabwe's stone building tradition continued in later kingdoms. The site continues to be an active area of archaeological research. New technologies are helping to reveal more secrets about the city's past. The spiritual significance of the site endures for the Shona people today. Great Zimbabwe is more than a ruin. It is a living heritage. The sheer scale of the walls was intended to impress and display power. Artisans within the city were skilled in more than just stonework. They produced fine pottery, iron tools, and intricate jewelry. The king's court would have been a center of culture and ceremony. The absence of a writing system means much of the history is interpreted through archaeology. Oral traditions passed down through generations also provide valuable clues. The city was not a fortress in a military sense, as its walls lack many defensive features. The walls were more about prestige and separating social classes. The conical tower's design is unique, with no known precedent in the region. Its careful construction suggests a deep, symbolic importance. The discovery of the soapstone birds shocked the colonial establishment. Their artistry and symbolism were undeniably African. The environmental impact of such a large city would have been significant. Vast amounts of wood were needed for fuel, for cooking, heating, and iron smelting. This ecological pressure is a key part of the city's story of decline. The rediscovery of the city's true history is a story of scientific triumph over prejudice. It serves as a cautionary tale about how history can be distorted for political ends. The architecture is in harmony with its natural granite landscape. The builders used the natural exfoliation of the granite hills to quarry their blocks. This intelligent use of the environment is a hallmark of their genius. The interior of the great enclosure was a space of high status. It likely housed the king's wives and royal family. The narrow passage within the great enclosure may have been used for processions. Its towering walls would have created a profound sense of awe and exclusion. The city's population is estimated to have been between 10,000 and 20,000 people. This made it one of the largest cities in the world at its peak. The health of the population would have been a major challenge. Sanitation in such a dense urban center required careful management. The kingdom had no standing army in the modern sense. Power was projected through wealth, trade alliances, and spiritual authority. The soapstone birds are a unique artistic achievement. Their style is not found in any other culture, making them distinctly Zimbabwean. The abandonment of the city was a strategic shift, not a flight from disaster. The skills of the stonemasons were not lost. They were transferred to new centers. Great Zimbabwe's influence permeated the entire region for centuries. The site is a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the Shona people. It challenges us to reconsider the history of civilization itself. The stones of Great Zimbabwe continue to tell a story of power, spirit, and time. The city's economy was diverse, not solely reliant on external trade. Local agriculture provided the stable food supply necessary for urban life. The architectural design evolved over several centuries of occupation. Early walls were rougher, while later constructions show greater refinement. The hill complex itself was modified and expanded by successive rulers. Control of water sources would have been a key aspect of royal power. The spiritual world was deeply integrated into the fabric of daily life. The king acted as the chief intermediary with the ancestral spirits. This religious authority was as important as his political might. The decline in ivory trade, due to depleted elephant herds, also impacted the economy. The kingdom's collapse was a complex event with multiple contributing factors. The memory of the great city lived on in the oral traditions of the Shona people. These stories were crucial in guiding the first European visitors to the site. The initial reaction of awe was quickly replaced by colonial denial. The fight over the narrative of Great Zimbabwe is a core part of its modern history. Its reclamation was a victory for science and for Zimbabwean national identity. The site is not just a tourist attraction. It is a place of pilgrimage. It embodies the spirit of a civilization that shaped a subcontinent.